This is Irontrader. It is hump day, which means it is crude day. Now, the API report came out for crude yesterday, and he had a draw of 1 million barrels. Gasoline had a nice draw of 2.1 million barrels. Distillates had a draw of 1.5 million barrels, and Cushing had a draw of 0.5 million. Now, remember, the EIA report will be out today at 10:30. We'll see if it all confirms. Okay, we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, and natural gas. But first, we're going to take a look here at the euro versus US dollar and the US dollar versus the old yen. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation of buy, sell, stock, bond, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Here we have the euro versus the US dollar and the euro US dollar versus the yen. Now you can see here how just a beautiful run up that we had all the way on up. But now here we can look at what we got going. We have a high, a lower high, and a lower high situation. However, if you look at this, we have a left shoulder, a right shoulder, and a head. This could be an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Let's see how this all shakes out. So let's just bigger up a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now, the upside, what you're really watching is all these simple moving average, 1.1617 level. That's your 21 SMA here. And then we have 1.653 level. Then we have your 8-day all the way up there at that 1.639 level. That is going to be all very, very strong resistance there on the upside. If you can get above that, obviously you can take that 1.17 level. And we'll come up to the top of this level here, 1.1788 level, and then 1.1829 level. Okay, so that is going to be your upside target. But you can see here how you have a left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. That could do a flip ski, and that could go much higher. Now, here on the downside, what we're watching is, well, so far we have a low of 1.157, which we're watching right there, 1.158, so just a little bit lower. Your next level is going to be right down at the bottom here. It's going to be 1.1527, and then we're going to have that 100-day sitting at 1.149. Now, if we lose that, we can do the retest there at 1.1388. That could be very, very easy. And then again, if that's lost, all we do is just bring these price channels here right across until we can come all the way down and maybe even possibly down to that 200-day. But right now, we just kind of like have a descending situation going on here, but it is a possible inverse head and shoulders pattern. So let's see how this all shakes, but it looks like it just can't hold all these simple moving averages. So bottom line, just watch that 21 SMA here, watch that 8 SMA right there, and then watch that 50-day there on the upside. On the downside, if she sells right down, watch this 100-day. You really want to hold that 100-day. If not, you can do the retest of 1.13. Now, the RSI is only sitting at 45. That's not overbought or oversold. We have a sideways action going on here. So again, you got to be a little bit patient here and got to basically just trade that range. Okay, here we have the US dollar here versus the yen. Now you can see here a nice uptrending chart situation, nice series of higher lows kind of going. And you can see how nice that 50 days hold it. Look at that, 146.95. Look at how many times we've held it here very, very nicely. Now, we are above the key simple moving averages. So what you want to watch on the downside is 147.81. We want to watch 147.67, and then this key level here is going to be 146.95. If we lose that, you can come down to the retest, 146.20, and then probably down to the 100-day at 145.53 level, okay? But we just have this sideways action. Now, on the upside, this 200-day is going to be pretty much everything, 149.04. You have to get and close back above that level because it lines up very, very nicely here with the 149.18 top of that candle, okay? Now, again, if we can get above that, then we have that 150.91. That's the retest, and then you have to see what the reaction is once it gets there. Now, again, if you can crack above that level here, then we have all these possibilities that we can come all the way on up here, even retest at 158. That's what I like about these blue lines are just price channels. So as it sells off, on the other side, it leaves all your resistant levels. So all you got to do is bring the price channels right across, and those are going to be your resistant levels. But for right now, basically, you got two really key levels, that 149.04, that 200-day, and that 150.91. On the downside, you got the 21-day, the 8-day, and that key 50-day. We lose it, you come to the price channel and come down even down to your 100 SMA. Okay, let's take a look here now at Bitcoin. Here we have Bitcoin daily and weekly chart. Now, yesterday, the BITX was just an absolute great trader. I had 4 trades during the day, and then after hours, I jumped right back into it. And then I resold it here at a 55 50 level, and right now it's sitting at 54.06. So remember, after hours is your friend. And what I like about the BITX here, same with the IBIT, if you're trading these ETFs, you can trade those 24 hours a day, and it's really cool because you can put price tag, like at 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know what I'm saying, you can always do the trading then. But it just was a really good trade, so I'll be looking for more trades in the old Bitcoin. Now you can see here where we have a double top situation, and now that 8-day crossed the 21-day, and it crossed that 50-day. That's not good. That's going to become very, very strong resistance. So what we have here is we have a indecision kind of a candle. Now the big thing about today is going to be NVIDIA. The earnings are coming out here after the close. But again, that's the market mover. It looks like Bitcoin is trading with the overall market, especially the Nasdaq. Nasdaq wants to rip up. Looks like Bitcoin wants to move up. Okay, so it's really kind of all the same kind of a situation. You got a really good correlation. So what we're looking on the upside here on, we're looking at 112,490, but this is the big boy right here. It's at 113,403. Now, if you get above that, we have your 50-day sitting 114.83, and then we have your 116 sitting at 28, your 21-day. Those are all your key levels. Okay. Now, yeah, there's shorter interim resistant levels, 115.30. Yeah, there is those levels there, but realistically, just watch that 8-day. Okay, that 50-day. And that 21-day. That's all you're going to need to really know on the upside. Now, on the downside, you want to watch, obviously, today's low. That's at 110,420. We want to watch the bottom of the candle, 109,590. And then we want to come right here at 108,845 level. Okay, now we lose that. You'll be at 107,840 level. And then we'll come down to the bottom there at 107,680. And then we'll come right to your 100-day at 106,304. But we have to watch this key 21-day at 107.91. Okay, so that'd be right between your 100-day and the bottom of yesterday's candle. Okay, so always watch that weekly chart 107.91, because a lot of times it proves up to be very, very strong support or resistance. In this case, it's going to be support. Okay, so what I say, just want to watch again. Watch that 8-day. Okay, that's very, very tradable to there. That 50-day and that 21-day. Downside, just watch the bottom. At 109,950, but yesterday's candle is going to be very, very key at 108,845. We lose it, then we're going to be looking for that 107 level. Then we're looking for the 106 level. Okay. Now, RSI, we had the negative divergence, and obviously you can see where it's playing out here very, very nicely. Now, that's not overbought or oversold. The same way the MACD is over green is over your red, shows momentum to the downside, and that's exactly what you have. But always watch it when you have these double top situations. Okay, that's very, very key. And then we have the big red candle, and then she sold right on off. All right. Now, RSI here on your weekly, this is not overbought or oversold. The green wants to cross over your red, but just watch this 21-day on a closing basis by Friday. You really need to hold that. What you really like to do is get back above that 8-day at 116,493, but we got to see that. Yeah, it means you'd have to come above, get above the 8-day, the 50-day, and the 21-day. We got to see how that all shakes out. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Here we have gold and silver. Now you can see here just a really nice, good uptrending situation, but it's just like watching paint dry. Is kind of very, very slow right now. Right now I have no trade. So what we had today is a high of 34.44. Yesterday 34.43. I said watch this level right here at the bottom of the candle. What do we have? 34.45. Okay, so that's your resistant level. So you came in just barely shy of that level. Okay, so now if we can get above that, then what we want to do is we want to watch the top of that candle, that 351 level. Then we want to catch 34.66, and then we can come up to the top of this candle at that 34.83. But realistically, you can aim for that 34 level. But then again, I'm going to always point out this candle on the left here. Okay, that 35.09. You really have to close back above that. Once you do, then we can aim for that. Now again, you crack above that, you got 35.50, 3600, and even 36.20 on that trade. Okay. Now, downside, you can see here how nice we're holding the 8-day and your 21-day on a closing basis. Very nice. So downside, you want to watch 34.04. Then we want to watch the 8-day at 34.01, and then we have your 50-day right there at 33.76 level. Okay. So very, very, very strong. Your price now is above all your simple moving averages, which is very good. We lose it. You come down 33.67 level, and we have 33.62. Then we come right down here to your 100-day at 33.38 level, and then we have 33.91. Then your big retest down there at 3300. Now you can see here how the green crossed over your red. That shows good momentum to the upside. This is not overbought or oversold. So let's just see how it, if it can hold that key 21 day and that 8 day kind of a situation. And then we always want to watch the bottom of that candle right there, that 34.45 level. That's going to be very, very key because you can see where the resistant levels are. They went right into it and they couldn't get above it so far. So that's what we want to blast off. Just like what we had here, 34.23, okay, 34.23. See that? How that nice that is? Then the next day we could 34.21 couldn't get above it, and then yesterday we popped above it, and look at that. Look how nice that is. Okay, see, so that's what you're going to be watching. Maybe take it higher. All right, here we have silver now. Silver here is looking here not too bad. Looked like it popped up there today, but then she came right on down. The key is you have to close back above that 39.09. Now, we went as high as 39.24 level. What we're watching is the bottom of that candle at 39.33. Okay, so if you keep right on rolling, you're going to go 39.33. Then we have 39.52, 39.66, 39.91. You crack that, 40, 42, 45. Okay, very, very nice. But you have a good, nice uptrending a chart going on here. Very, very nice. But you have to can't just pop above. You have to get above that key level right there at that 39.09. That's going to be very key. Now, downside, we want to watch yesterday's high, 38.86, and today's low, 38.68 level. But realistically, what you're really watching is you got to hold this 38.30. That's your 8 simple moving average. And then you want to watch your 21-day. And then we want to watch your 50-day, which is holding out very, very nicely, as we can see. Okay? Very, very nice. So, bottom line, watch that price channel. We get above it. We just follow these candles right on up until we retest that 39.91, and then we have to see what the reaction is once we get there. Okay? Very, very easy. Downside, you got to hold this 8-day, okay? And you want to hold that 8-day, and you want to hold that 21-day, and we definitely want to hold that 50 SMA. RSI, well, you're sitting at 58. That's got plenty of room to go. The green over red shows good momentum. Chart, very, very bullish. Bottom left, upper right. Looking very, very nice to retest that 39.91. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. Here we have the old crude oil. Okay, now remember, the EIA report will be out today at 10:30, and we'll see if it confirms the API for yesterday. Now, you can see here how we had this really nice rally, but where did it go? Above the 21-day, but you notice it couldn't hold it, okay? That's why you trade the charts. See, same way here. Yesterday, ran into it, and then popped right on down. Now we're sitting here right at that 8-day. So this is what we're watching on the downside, 63.23. You made a little bit lower there, low today, but you're sitting right on it. 63.23 is the key. Your next level, you're going to be right here at 62.52 level. Then we come to the bottom there, 61.83. Then you have your retest at 61.45. Okay, very, very nice. We lose that, you come right to the bottom of that candle, 61.06. We have 60.55, and then your big retest down here at 59.74. Bring the price channel right across. Okay, but that's only if you lose the 61.45 level. Now, upside, well, here we go. We can come to the top of that candle, 63.67. We can come to the top of this candle at 63.93. But realistically, what you're looking for is that right there, 64.21. There's your 100-day, and then we have your 21-day right above it at 64.41. Then we have your 50-day, and then we have your 200-day. Then we can come to the bottom of this candle here, 68.56, and we look to the top there, 69.58, and you retest at 70.51. Now, look at this 21-day, okay? See how this is rolling over? If you cross over that 100 SMA here, that's going to provide very, very strong resistance, as obviously you can see here in the past, okay? So bottom line, what I'll be watching here today is this 8-day on the downside. We lose that, it could be a nice good short ski down to here to the 61.45 level. On the upside, if it starts rallying, I'll be watching the 100-day, and I'll be watching this 21-day. Okay? Now, you can see RSI, we're pretty much right flat. It's not overbought or oversold. The same way we're here, we're sitting at the bottom, but this looks like there's really a whole lot. Now, remember, Labor Day will be this holiday weekend coming in, but then again, we have the hurricane season, which has been pretty light overall this year. So I say, remember, if any kind of storm goes into that Gulf where you got to shut down rigs, you got to shut down ports, that affects crude oil, natural gas, and gasoline, just like that. But right now, we still have this downtrending chart going on here. So just watch these key levels, and these simple moving averages are going to be everything on crude oil. All right, let's take a look now at natural gas. Here we have natural gas. Now you can see it's working like a circus monkey, okay? Now, this is the key level, is going to be this 8-day. Let me bigger up one more time there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so There you are. Okay. 2.76, we're barely popped above it. I think it's maybe the contract roll coming into the situation. Okay. So what we have is you popped right above that. 276 is going to be key, but now you left that gap. Okay. So then you want to look at the bottom of this, top of this candle, I should say, 274 level. And then we look to the bottom, 265, and then we have your retest at 262. Okay. That's the downside. Now, upside, this 21 day is going to be everything. You have to get back and close back above it. If you can close above that, which we haven't done in how long now, then you got a good shot at retesting the 318 level, and you got a good shot at hitting this 50-day at 321, and that 100-day 333 and 349. It's going to be a matter of time before natural gas is going to reverse here and go up higher. But right now we got to, the chart is descending. Okay, there's nothing really bullish. Now we lose that 2.62 level. All we're going to be doing here, you come right to the top of the candle, 2.58, that's going to be next. Okay, then we come down here, you got 2.51, and then we have 2.44, and then we have 2.37, and then nothing has changed. We come down here, 2.26, and then 2.21. But that's only if you lose that 2.62 level. But natural gas is getting very, very cheap going into this time of the year. Now you can see how we're riding on the bottom. Never got to like an oversold condition, but we're just riding that bottom the same way here. So again, this has a lot of good juice to run to the upside. The key to the whole natural gas there today is this 8-day at 276 and that 21-day. The key about the 21-day, we close above it, then I'll jump in that UNG and I'll take it here maybe to that 318 and maybe even to that 321 level. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here midday trading, and we'll take a look at some stocks. Remember, NVIDIA's earnings are here after the close, and that's going to be what the big market mover situation is today. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.